Do you feel the need for speed? Need for Speed has proven time and time again that it's a phenomenal gaming franchise with exceptional racing titles. Our list looks at the best entries in the franchise and ranks them accordingly. So without wasting any time, let's get the pedal to the metal. Number 10. Need for Speed Rivals. While it's fair to rag on Rivals for being bare-boned in that typical cross-generational way, it released on both last and modern-gen consoles. NFS Rivals deserves far more respect than it typically gets. Spiritually, the game shares much in common with Criterion's Hot Pursuit Reboot that came out 3 years earlier, but expands the format to take advantage of a legitimate open world. The dynamic weather system present in certain versions of the game does a lot to enhance the environmental immersion. The handling model itself is remarkably composed compared to Ghost Games' other iterations. Number 9. Need for Speed Undercover. Although police chases are still a significant part of this Need for Speed installment, players play the part of an undercover police officer to infiltrate a crime syndicate. Players compete in street races and drive stolen cars. The speeds you can reach in this game are amazing. The game itself has a role-playing game element that allows players to improve their licensed real-world cars. NFS Undercover is a fine game. Number 8. Need for Speed Porsche Unleashed. Need for Speed Porsche Unleashed tests your driving skills while you test drive some of Porsche's most popular cars. In the game, you'll compete in levels that feature twists and turns and various driving conditions. You can participate in different types of races, including circuit, street car, open road, and more. Survive all the crashes, evade the police, and complete track challenges to earn prizes and respect. With enough money, you can purchase different custom parts for your vehicle. It almost goes without saying that the game controls impeccably and sounds great. Number 7. Need for Speed Most Wanted Reboot. 2012's Most Wanted's biggest strength is that it feels like a cohesive whole, rather than some mixture of a reboot tacked onto another game's engine. The gameplay emphasizes as little downtime as possible, which is a good thing. It's an absolute blast whether or not cops are involved. It's not a reboot as much as it's a reimagining of the original game, taking the bits that worked and wrapping them in a completely new package. Surprisingly enough, it does so in a way that works. Number 6. Need for Speed 2. Typically overlooked in the franchise's legacy, Need for Speed 2 deserves recognition for ditching the rather uneventful highway cruising motive of the first game in favor of a selection of unique, epic courses, each brimming with wild moments and true personality, inspiring a generation of budding enthusiasts. To last after the McLaren F1 and Ferrari F50, Need for Speed 2 added in a masterpiece of a soundtrack. It's easy to see why Need for Speed 2 left such an undeniable impression on those who had the good fortune of playing it. Number 5. Need for Speed Heat. First of all, I have to say that this game is visually amazing. There are a lot of graphic options to optimize, and so far it's the best looking NFS. This game has a decent open world, driving feels solid, and there's a good amount of variety with the races. It has fun police chases that can get really intense when you have a lot of rep on the line, and you can also lose all of it if you get caught. It also has a great amount of car customization as well. Number 4. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2010. So you are in an unsafe driving county where people brag about their dangerous driving and being wanted by the police. Your goal is to be a good outlaw who drives fast enough to reach an off-the-chart wanted level. Or you play as a cop to bust these outlaws, also by driving very fast. There is no story or an open world to freely roam this time. However, there are several modes of racing to max out your level. The most fun mode is Hot Pursuit, and hence the title. It's a mode in which you compete with opponents with the police at your tail at the same time, and you have several gadgets to damage other cars like in Super Mario Kart. You're reaching the big 3. Number 3. Need for Speed Carbon. This is one of the best Need for Speed games out there. The story is realistic and it tightened loose ends from the previous games. Need for Speed Carbon delivers the next generation of customization, giving you the power to design and tweak your cruise cars in every way using the Autosculpt technology. Need for Speed Carbon immerses you into the world's most dangerous and adrenaline-filled form of street racing. You and your crew must race in all-out war for the city, risking everything to take over your rivals' neighborhoods one block at a time. As the police turn up the heat, the battle ultimately shifts to Carbon Canyon, where territories and reputations can be lost on every perilous curve. Number 2. Need for Speed Underground 1 and 2. These games are simply the most fun I have ever had playing a racing video game. The gameplay flows flawlessly and sucks you in to make you feel like you are one with the game, especially the second one. The amazing variety of car selection and customization options gives you the feeling that you are in complete control of the style and persona of your character. The soundtrack is legendary, which genuinely pairs perfectly with the gameplay and delivers an unforgettable experience that will be burned into your mind for eternity. Before we get to the top dog on our list, here's a plug. Racing games can have your adrenaline pumping, but to make good racing games, you need ideal gameplay mechanics, physics, and graphics. Getting this trifecta of awesomeness is not easy. What you need is the right racing game development partner. Fret not, you are in luck. Introducing 300 Mind, a market-leading game development partner with over 250 experts on its roster and 100 plus successful AAA projects in its kitty. With 300 Mind, you can kick back and enjoy nitrous-powered speeding with your very own game. Now, let's get to the top spot on our list. Number 1. Need for Speed Most Wanted 2005. Our favorite Need for Speed game is indeed Need for Speed Most Wanted, the 2005 original. There is no doubt that this instant classic is not just a great racing game, it's a great game in general. The original Most Wanted brought back the inclusion of police pursuits, and it's the game where the law enforcers are best used, even to this day. What makes Most Wanted the best amongst the rest was its toughness. As the game progressed, the police chases became more and more difficult, with a gradual increase in cop car types that got tougher and faster as your bounty increased. There was a swooping helicopter, SUVs that attempted head-on collisions, and a variety of roadblocks that could stop the driver dead in his tracks. Along with that was an entertaining story as the player made their way up the blacklist, eventually toppling all of them and culminating in one of the greatest police chases in gaming history. So there you have it, the 10 best NFS games for you to get your race on. But right now, we have a new entrant, and it may even be better than our number 1. Here is a sneak peek into the latest NFS game, NFS Unbound. With jaw-dropping graphics mixed perfectly with edgy sketch-like elements, NFS Unbound looks nothing short of amazing. So if you too are as excited about this new offering from the NFS stable, let us know in the comments. That's all for today. Thank you for watching the video, and if you find the video interesting, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. This is your friendly neighborhood gamer signing off. Adios.